Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will talk about speech service. If you are in Microsoft Foundry, you can go to Playground, and in Playground, you can select speech. And when you come to the text to speech, you will see these options. You can click on text to speech avatar, and you will come on this page. So this page is used to create a video from a text. For example, if I have specified this text and I click on generate video, this will generate a video based on the text we have provided.
I am writing to submit a medical insurance claim for treatment received on October 22, 2023, for an urgent gastroenterology consultation. I have attached the relevant invoices and receipts from City General Hospital, along with the completed claim form. Please process this claim under my policy, number MHP 847293-01. Kindly confirm receipt and advise of the expected timeline for assessment and reimbursement. For any further information, please contact me at your convenience.
Okay, so this is how that video looks like. So let's talk about some options. So this is the list of avatar you can choose. And then you have a background. You can either choose a white background or make it transparent, or you can add your own. Then we have option for the language. I have this English US selected by default. And then you have different voices.
Many think that the people you list as references are already queued to say nice things
Thank you
about
for
you,
calling
and there are
AI
so many
Agent.
other ways
My
to
name
get
is Kai, and I'm here to assist you. Press 1.
So you can choose different voices from there. So here we have specified the text, but there is an option for the SSML where you can specify speech XML. You can specify your text here, and this will generate the video based on the text. So how do we integrate text to speech in our project? If you have been following my previous videos, we created a web application, and when we go to create insurance tab, we had a form. We will add one more extra field, which is for the speech text, where I will specify some text. And when we submit this information, this calls an agent. We have insurance claims agent. We will add a new field here, which is text to speech. And this agent then calls the MCP server. So we have a separate project for MCP server. So in the tools, we have insurance policy tools. So we will capture speech to text here and then convert that text into a video and upload into the storage account. We already have a storage account which we have been using, but we only storing the JSON files. So we will use the same storage account and upload the video as a blob in the same account. So let's get started. Let's create a new branch first. Okay, I will start with the MCP server tool first. So we already have an insurance policy tool which expects these options. I'm going to add a new option here, which will be text to speech. So whenever we call this tool, we will pass speech text as a parameter. Let's add a new field in the Azure search document. So currently it has these fields. So I'm going to add a simple field and calling it speech text. We have a storage account service which uploads a document. So I will create a new method here. So that would be upload a video. And we will pass the ID of the video and a stream of that video. So it's not a JSON, it would be MP4. Currently we are okay with this implementation, but we will add few more things when we call this function. Now we have to implement text to speech service. We already have a services folder, so let's create a new service. Text to speech service. So the way text to speech service works is we have to send a request to the service. It is called a job. So we will create a job which will accept the text, and then we will get the job based on an ID. So that job will give us a status. It would be successful or failure. If it is successful, then it will give us a link where that video is uploaded. So we will get that video and store in the storage account. So let's test that in Postman first. Okay, so when I call this text to speech service, I have to provide this URL. So how do we get this URL? You go to overview and we need Azure AI service. And here is the URL we need. So let me copy this URL. So this is called Azure AI services. Or maybe a speech service. It's up to you. Okay, so you copy this URL and paste it here. So this is the part coming from that foundry. Then you have avatar. Then we have batch synthesis. So this needs an ID. So I'm just generating a new GUID. And after that, it needs an API version. So if you go to API documentation, scroll down and you will see speech. Getting started with text to speech. Go to batch synthesis. Use batch synthesis for text to speech. And here you can see the API version. So that version comes from there. And this is a put operation. And then you have this body section. Okay, in body you have to provide some configuration. So this is the voice. So you can change this one here. So this is the default one I selected. So we are passing the plain text, but if you are specifying SSML, then you can choose that option here. If it is a plain text, then you go to input and in content, type the text you want to convert into a video. And after that, you have some configurations. So the avatar character is Lisa, which is this character. You can choose a different one. And what is the style of that avatar? So style is mentioned here. So this is Lisa, but casual standing. So that you can specify here. Mine is casual sitting. And what format do you need? And some video codec. And what is your background? So you can specify these options here. If all is okay, then you send a request. So you get a 201 created response back, and this gives you the ID of the job. So this is the same ID which is generated here. So we copy that ID, and then we have a get request, which is the get job. So everything is same, but the only change is here. So we are not generating a new ID. So this is the job ID we got in the previous request. Let me copy again. And then we can use the same API version. And this one is a get request. And if everything is okay, just click on send. Okay, it will give you a status. It says succeeded, but it could be in progress as well. So we have to keep sending a request until it sends, until the status is succeeded. So if it is all succeeded, then you scroll down and you will see a section for outputs. It has two different property, result and summary. So let's have a look at the summary first. So copy this URL and open in a browser. So this will download a JSON file, and that tells that this was the job ID and that it was succeeded, and this was the content of that video, and what is the status and what is the file name and few other things. And the result section has the actual URL of that video. Let's copy this URL and paste it here. So this will download an MP4 file.
Hi, I'm a virtual assistant created by Microsoft.
And this is the same text we have specified here in the body. So this is in the Postman, but we have to call it through C#. If I go to Azure Foundry, the option for the view code, but only Python option is available. There is no C#, but we have to convert into C#. So let's do that now. So we copy the endpoint and I am in insurance policy tools. I have already created speech text. We already created an upload document. So let's create a new service. We already created a service called text to speech service. So let's create a method which will create the job. So the first method, which is this one, create job. So this needs to be a put request on this URL. So let's implement that first. So that would be create job. So that will receive a speech text and also an ID. So we have to send an HTTP request. So let's register that in program. So let's copy this service. So I'm calling it a speech service. So this need a base address, which we have here. So that would be speech endpoint. And this is optional. We can just remove it. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing we need to do is we needed to provide a header. So this is the API key. So after that, so this is a speech service key. I'm going to add any user secret. And this is the resource key. You just copy that key. Okay, so that looks good. Now we can inject this in the service we have created. Okay, let's create a private method here which will return HTTP client. The method name is getClient. So this will return HTTP client factory and then create client. So we need to have this client factory which we can inject here. So we need to add a package. So the package name is Microsoft.extensions.http. Complaining about this error, so let's fix them. So that would be so we have to upgrade that package. Configuration.abstraction. So let's install the stable release. Okay, so once it is installed, now we can install the other package. Okay, so the package has been installed. Now we get the client factory. And the client name which we have registered in program is speech service. Okay. Okay, now let's prepare the JSON. So in the create job, we have this body section, which is this JSON. I'm copying the whole JSON. And let's declare a variable JSON. So this part need to be replaced. So I have to add two dollar signs, and this can be replaced with the speech text. Okay, so that becomes the JSON. So that we are passing here and encoding, and it's application slash JSON. So this is not a post. So this would be put async, and the URL is starting with slash avatar and then everything else. So I copy that URL. So this is the ID coming in that parameter. So let's call it job ID. And we can take this into configuration. It's up to you, but I'm leaving it hard coded. So once we send a request, the response will be coming here. So this is now async. So this makes sure that the success code is returned, otherwise this will throw an exception, and we simply return the job ID. Okay, as I said, this is the same job. Whatever getting generated here is also the same ID here. So this is what we need. So we can call the get job endpoint. So we have done create job. Now let's create get job. So I'm creating a method. So this may not return anything. So I'm saying process speech to text. So this receives a job ID. And just for more information on the job ID, if I go to my storage account, we generated a random ID for the JSON files. So I will be using the same ID, but this time extension will be MP4. So both JSON file and the video file both will have the same ID. So that's why this job ID is being used there. And then we have the speech text. So we call this create job. We pass the job ID, we pass the speech text, and that returns the job ID. We don't need to return it, but or maybe we can just change it because we know the job ID, so we don't have to specify it here. So that creates the job. Now let's work on the get endpoint. So first we need to create a client. I'm calling it get client. So that's a speech service we need to pass, and we get the client. Now, as I said, when you call this get, there is a property for status. So currently it shows succeeded, but it could be different depending on when we request. So I'm storing that status. Let's say it's running, or maybe empty. So we have to write a loop. So do while is more appropriate. So this is the get client and get async, and then we copy this whole thing. And this will be replaced by the ID, job ID. Okay, so we get the client, the response come here. If it is not successful, then it will throw exception, and then we get the actual response, which will be this JSON. So in this JSON, we need status, so we can check if it is succeeded or is running or is in progress, and we also need the outputs. So I am going to create a class for that. So in class library, we have entities folder, and let's create class here. So I'm calling it text to speech response. So this needs status and also need outputs. And for outputs, let's create another class. So this would be text to speech response output. So this stores both result and summary. We don't need summary. It is just a JSON file. We are more interested in this result field, which has the actual video. So let's create a property for result. Okay, so we have created a class, and now when we read, so when we have this response content, we can store in that class. So let me remove these. And because this will be our camel case, so we have to specify that in the options. So that will be JSON serializer options, and naming policy is equal to camel case. Okay, then we have to check. So the status will go to that status. And if it is not succeeded or if it is not failed, then it's keep running. And if it is all succeeded, then it will come out of the do while loop. Now we need to get the video URL. So that video URL is basically coming from this. So we need to declare it here. Dot output dot result. So that will contain the video URL. Now let's get the video from that URL. We need the same client, so that would be video client. So we don't have, so this speech service, if I go here, always go to speech endpoint, but the video URL is totally different URL. So we can't use that client. So that's why we have to specify here if it is null, then simply return empty string. So this is get job client. I'm just renaming it. And we pass null or empty. So this will be video client. So the video response would be we just send a get request to that video URL, and that should return the video response. Ensure success status code. And then we read it as a stream. So that will be so read that content as a stream, and I'm putting in a using block so that the stream can be disposed. Okay, now we have to upload this stream into that storage account. So we already created that storage service, storage account blob service, and we created a method, upload a video. So let's inject this one here. storage count dot service dot upload a video, and that needs a job ID, and then need a video stream. Okay, now let's go here and make some changes. So we are getting a blob client and then uploading a stream here, but because this will be a video file that we have to upload in different chunks. So when we provide this upload async, we can specify some options. For example, blob upload options. So let's create blob upload options. So in blob upload options, we can specify a header, which is this one. So that will become the content type of that video. Then we have transfer options. So the initial transfer size, let's assume this one. Max transfer size is that one. And how many threads we want to run at the same time. So that will be max concurrency is 4. So this will create a buffer of this size, and it will run 4 buffers at the same time. So there will be 4 different threads uploading the same video. And then we can specify this when we are uploading the stream. And I think we are done. Let's start testing it. Now we have to call this as well. So text to speech, let's register this one in program file. So if I go to my tools and insurance policy tools, so I have upload document, and right after that we can inject that service. Process speak to text. So that needs an ID and speech text. So let's move this out of this section. Maybe job ID or just ID. And that ID will be used here and also here. And the speech text, which is coming here, it's misspelled. That is speech to text. Okay, so let's test this tool first. Okay, so this is running. I go to MCP calls and I select local. And this all we don't need, that we did in previous video. And just click on connect. and I can see the create new user account. So that is not the tool. The tool we have is create new insurance policy, so which is this one. So let me specify some test data. And just for testing, I'm just writing test here, or maybe and click on run. Okay, so that is now uploading the document. Let me remove the breakpoint. Okay, now it's going to upload. It's now processing that speed. So it's creating a job first. So it's getting the client and it is throwing exception. So configuration value for speech service endpoint is missing. Let's have a look. I thought we provided. So that was Azure AI service endpoint. So if you go to overview, you go to Azure AI services. So this is Azure AI service endpoint. So I copy that, and same for the key. So let's replace the key as well. Okay, let's run now again. Okay, one more thing. Okay, we're connecting again, and we simply run it. So let's remove the breakpoint and put the breakpoint here. So that's the speech service endpoint we created. So that's all looking fine. And the JSON we have is this. So that's the content of the video. Okay, so the job has been created, and now we are trying to get the status. So we are waiting for 5 seconds. And after 5 seconds, I'm getting the response. And I got the response. And the status is succeeded. And it also has some random URLs. And it's will come out of the loop. Now we got the video URL. And now we are sending a GET request on that video URL. And we got the response back. And then we got the stream as well. And now we are uploading the video. Awesome. Looks like it's all working. Let's have a look and test it. So I'm just refreshing this, and I think we have got the video. So let me download this. So this is the content type we specified, and if I download and test,
Hello, I am a robot.
it's saying I am a robot, and I think that is exactly what we specified in that MCP server tool. Okay, so that is all looking good. So it's running locally now. So now let's deploy it. Okay, so looks like has been deployed. So let's verify the configuration. So we had this new field added. So let's have a look if this is added in the environment variables. So we have to specify that. So and we also need to specify the key. Okay, after setting the values, we just refresh this, make sure it's all okay. Yep, all looking okay. And the only thing I would do is just change the environment to Azure. And hello, I'm a robot from Azure. And just run it, or maybe disconnect, connect. And we already have this selected, so I'm just sending it. Okay, we got an error. So we have to go to App Insight and see the error. Saying key is missing. Okay, we specify the key. So let me have a look here. So this is Azure AI Services, and this is Azure AI Service. Let's make this as services and this also as services, and also in the app settings, and also in the secrets. And now let's have a look at the environment variables. So this is Azure AI Services and Azure AI Services endpoint. So that looks fine. So probably we just need to redeploy. Okay, looks like it has been deployed. And now in Postman, we just need to disconnect and then connect. And let's try again. Fingers crossed, it is taking some time. Okay, looks like it has created the policy, and we are expecting that it should create this video file as well. Okay, we have that file, and if I download and play it, it should say,
Hello, I am a robot from Azure.
okay, it's saying I am robot from Azure. So looks like MCP server is all good, deployed. Now what is next? So the next thing we need to do is we have a web application, and in the pages, we have this new insurance policy, and we go here, and when we create new insurance policy, so we add a new field here, which is speech text. So in that model, I have to create a new property. So I will copy that content field. So this becomes the speech text. And after that, we have to update the form. So I am copying this form. So this will become speech text. And one more thing, we have to go to Foundry, and go to declarative agents. And this is the agent we have, and it is linked with the MCP server. Let's go to edit agent. So it's already linked with create new insurance. So we should be all good. So let's try that now. So there is currently no change. So I'm saying, so let's run the web app. So I'm just testing it, and then we specify the proper content. So looks like the blob has been created. So let's have a look. And I think that's the video. Okay. Now let me run again, and this time I will provide the proper content. So the content we can take from that video, or maybe ask ChatGPT. Let's use this content. Yeah, this should be multi-line anyway. So I'm just and click on create policy. Okay, so looks like video has been created. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's the video. So the size of this video is 7 megabytes. Let's download and run it.
I am writing to submit a medical insurance claim for treatment received on October 22, 2023, for an urgent gastroenterology consultation. I have attached the relevant invoices and receipts from City General Hospital, along with the completed claim form. Please process this claim under my policy, number MHP 847293-01. Kindly confirm receipt and advise of the expected timeline for assessment and reimbursement. For any further information, please contact me at your convenience.
Okay, so looks like the video has been created and it's now working end to end, where we can submit this from the form. And I think that's it for today. One of my regular viewers, he asked me for this text to speech avatar, and I made this video just for him. If you are watching this video and if you want me to make a video on a special content, just let me know. I will do my research and come up with a video. And I think that's it for today. And if you have any question, just write in the comment. I will answer all your comments and see you again in the next video. Bye bye.